Hey guys, it's Ash here coming at you today in what else? Raid Shadow Legends, welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Guys, it is time. We're actually going to look at all the new champions. There's a lot of new insane champions. We have a new Void Legendary Bannerlord champion. We have a brand new, it's no longer just Aphodus. We have a brand new mythical champion as well. Look at the alternate form here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool aesthetics here, right? A little bit of a Nell template, I will say, right? I mean, look at this, look at this. I'm not trying to be nitpicky here, but it's like Nell with some shiny stuff around her, right? Isn't it the same kind of design a little bit? Anyway, I digress. We got a bunch of new amazing champions. Specifically, this Bannerlord Void Legendary is insane. We have the new Fusion Rare. He actually looks really good for a rare champion, honestly. An AoE weaken 3-turn cooldown. We also have an increased attack, increased crit rate with an extra turn mechanic and a triple hitter on the A1. Really solid there. We also have the Fusion Epic. I assume it's Matic, Eye of Skyron, excuse me. He has an AoE, removing buffs, stealing buffs, conditionally a triple hitter, block active skills, block buffs, a debuff spread, a little mini carnage action going on in his kit as well. He looks interesting as well. I'm gonna go over all the new champions on my news channel. I'll link that video for you guys in the description of this channel. But today, we're here to look at the man, the myth, the legend, Yukimasa, Demon of Ice. Listen, I had like 50 comments on my first video when we talked about his skills, talking about, Ash, why are you not saying that he's the first Shadowkin reviver, bro? And the truth is like he's not what I'm looking for a Shadowkin reviver. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love this dude's revive on the A2. I love it. But he's an attack-based damage dealer. Oftentimes, he is the first to die. I've play tested him for a couple hours now, and I didn't revive a ton. But it is a really nice skill to have, especially in restrictive areas like Faction Wars or like a Centranos where you're limited on factions, where you're just really struggling to find a reviver. That all being said, though, so I don't hate the ability at all, and it's nice that it's not predicated on killing. You get a single target revive just by using this skill, right? Which is really nice. However, there's a bunch of conditional revivers already. Soul Charge on Gamaran in Shadowkin. We've even got Sachi with her, what it was, I thought it was the passive. I'm on Tome. You ever click on the wrong champion? I thought she looked a little bit different. I don't miss that Sachi aesthetic. She has the revive on the passive as well. So we have some passive options for revive. We have Kinagashi, who's the only pure reviver. What Shadowkin needs, and I feel like Plarium is trolling us at this point, is an AoE reviver. It's not that hard. We just need a proper AoE reviver in Shadowkin. Alas, we don't have it, but we do have Yukimasa. So let's talk about Yukimasa in a vacuum and not look at him as if he was the answer to the void, not affinity, but the void of revivers in this faction, right? So there's a lot to like about this dude. He's got a lot of control. He is a very hybrid champion, but the best news is, I'm just going to tell you out the gate, Stain the Snow smacks, which is really good because as a damage dealer, and I said it in the initial video too, you got to do damage, right? A little bit of control in World where we have Armands and now, gosh, I mean, what they did to Sir Nick and in Lady Noelle. I mean, this freeze, we already have freeze champions. Even Ninja has an AoE freeze with a lot of damage. So the bar has been set pretty high. I'm happy to say this guy does seem very good. An AoE block active skills on the A1 is very nice to have to begin with. It instantly activates the skill whenever he skips a turn because of a CC debuff. I will say that he gets CC'd a decent amount. Even Wand of Submission, throwing the freezes back at him, you know, it happens, right? Meaning that he does instantly activate this skill whenever he skips a turn pretty more than I was expecting going into battle, right? And whenever this champion on his passive skips a turn because of that debuff, the next active skill, not the AoE auto, but the next active skill that he uses will ignore 50% of the target's defense, which is really nice as well. He gets a turn meter fill of 50% whenever he loses his turn as well, which again is very nice. Now, it does not include Sheep, which is worth noting here. He has an AoE that ignores block damage on his A2, fantastic. The damage isn't out of this world on this AoE, but it's nice. It's not awful, right? But you do have that freeze that can't be resisted if there's one enemy with a CC debuff on the other team. So he pairs very nicely with champions like Armands and Fabian, who dish out fears, true fears, and stuns, right? or anybody else for that. Gurgo the Augur, right? It could be anybody with CC debuffs. Stay in the Snow is his big hard-hitting ability. It's nice because on a 3-turn cooldown, you're stealing the entire turn meter from the target. It can't be resisted again if there's a CC debuff already on the playing field, and it equalizes the target's defense with this champion's defense for the attack. This, I'm just not going to lie to you guys, I'm sure some of you will be the same way, especially if you're dumb like me. But I forgot about the defense equalization a lot on earlier playtesting with this champion, right? I started to think about how tanky they were in the negative sense. But we want tanky because his defense is going to be their defense, which is a really unique ability as well, which helps this hit incredibly hard, right? Damage inflicted by the skill increases by the amount of turn meters stolen, so you generally want to target the highest turn meter anyway because he's stealing it all, but we want it additionally for the extra damage. There's a lot to think about when using this champion, especially at first. All right, he has the attack in all battles, or excuse me, in arena battles on the aura. Not really enamored by that. Let me show you the build really quickly, and I want to give you a hugely important caveat. I have no awakening. I have good gear, but realistic gear, and I have no empowerment on this champion. Thus, his base stats are going to be for an endgame, for my account, for an endgame account, compared to my regular nukers. I mean, look at this, 5,000 attack, 103, 233 on the crit damage. If I go to like, you know, an elite nuker on my account, I'm rocking 9,100, 402, right? I say that to say that, again, and we talk about it all the time, getting these champions is half the battle, and then getting the awakenings, which are usually accessible on fusions, you know, they can be a grind, but you have the opportunity, is something to factor in. I want to show you guys a baseline here, no empowerment, and again, no awakening on him, and no blessing on him. I do have a Wand of Submission on him, and then I have attack on the ring. I have crit damage on a 5-star amulet. I have speed on the boots on a 5-star. I have attack percentage on the chest. It should be attack, but we'll take that some accuracy on him. And then I have crit damage with crit rate on the gauntlets. I have attack on the banner. What else? These are the masteries that I'm rocking. Namely, we have Helm Smasher as our tier 6 option. What else to say right now? I think that's about it in terms of the build itself. So keep in mind, the damage is all considering and taking this into a factor, right? Can get a lot better and a lot bigger as we start to upgrade him more in the future. To get acquainted with his skills, let's just run him solo in Minnow, just so you guys can see what he looks like in the actual dungeon, right? So that's his A3, he goes in there, then that's his A2. Again, you can't really tell the damage against 185 level mobs, but going in, getting that kill, stealing the turn meter, going right into the AoE. He opens with the AoE with block active skills on his A1, as we just saw against the minions as well. So nice control on this champion. Obviously, you can build him like I have him in Savage and Stone Skin, Lethal in Stone Skin, or Merciless gear. You can also build him in a stun set to help you through, you know, CC waves type content. So there's a lot of versatility, I would say, depending on how you're going to use him in your builds as well. Let's go ahead and take him right into the arena, see what these other CCs are doing here in the test server, Platinum Arena. Thank you, Plarium, for allowing me to use the test server. It's something new that I'm doing here, as you guys may or may not have noticed for this update. So let's just go against this first team that we see. Actually, I want to see who this... All right, you guys can see all the creators. Shout out to all the creators here. We'll see who we can beat here. All these teams are pretty formidable. We're going to be rocking an Arbiter, a Fabian. Again, it would really behoove you guys. Most of you probably have Fabian, or at least somebody, even like anybody with freeze, right? And buff removal is even better. So Fabian or Gurgo the Augur, something like that, even Armand's is going to be great. We have Naime on the team too, just for a little bit of survivability, although it's a bit moot with Rhodos on the enemy team. So there he is on the right-hand side. We're going to go in. We're going to lock out the enemy team, and we're going to go ahead and... Oh, he's rocking a double Siffy. I didn't even notice that. Let's lock out Duchess. And then we're going to go in, get that ally protection, and here we go. Our first move of the battle. Let's go in with the A3, and let's go against the Siffy that isn't CC'd. Boom! 193k damage. Not too shabby. And again, I suspect I can go much higher with better gear and awakening and empowerment. All right, let's go in and steal a little bit of turn meter from the Sify with the highest turn meter. And now there are no CC debuffs on the enemy team, unfortunately, so this can be resisted, but let's go in anyway with the nuke and check out the damage. As I said, the A2 damage is good, but not great, you know? At least in this gear, in this build. But the A3, that's where it's at. You will see some hard hits before this video is over. I like his affinity too. Now we have an AoE on the A1, so we can go in and hopefully block active skills on Sify, which we do. Of course, Rose is going to be cleansed regardless, so it's a moot point. We can go in there and hopefully kill Sify with Naime. We can't. It's okay. We go in with Fabian, and now we're going to go ahead and end this. Can we get through there? Boom, boom. There we go, Arbiter. Land that kill. And then a little overkill, but boom, on that A3. There we go. All right. Keep in mind that damage goes up for the turn meter stolen, right? Let's go against this team here. You got a Carnage, a Marius, an Embreeze, and Arnorn over there, who's always a threat. Very annoying champion. All right, here we go. We locked them out. Fantastic. That's going to neutralize Marius at least a little bit. Let's go in with the A3 here. Get that protected the ally protection. There we go. All right, here we go. Well, I'm going to hope here. Let's just see what we can do against the tankiest unit that they have on the battlefield. And that's going to be Embreeze. Boom. 226,000 damage. No big deal. What's even more important and impressive is he's got an almost full turn meter. We can boost right back into him with the AoE on the A2 ability. Then we can freeze our Armons. That is as easy as that, really. I got to say, I think a lot of accounts are going to be impressed with this dude. Now, I guess the real question here is this guy, isn't he an S-tier champion? Or is he an A-tier champion? Or is he a B-tier champion, right? I think that's really what it comes down to. Let's go against, I mean, this team is very scary, but let's try. Let's try. Victor, Tess, man. I don't think he makes content anymore. Are they going to move this chat out of the screen? I want to attack Marius. I want to attack Nice. Come on, man. Why do they have the chat in the middle of the damn screen? Ah! That in the I mentioned it in yesterday's video, but that in the new shard openings where they say the name before you see the champion. Dude, I pulled 10 shards. And I pulled the frickin' Pixneal. You know how excited I was seeing the Pixneal banner before her face? As if it really matters, but anyway. Okay, so here we go, guys. I'm going to go in on the good affinity matchup here, and I'm going to try to steal all that turn meter from Mr. Nice. And it gets resisted. Womp womp. And we're toast. All right. Yeah, you can't say we didn't try. I kind of want a rematch, though. I kind of want a rematch. That was a bad idea. All right, here we go. Let's try that again. I want a do-over. All right, let's go in. Boom. Locked out. Cool. Go in here. Who do I want? I'm going to steal from Marichka this time. They have that extra the increased resistance, which is really annoying. Let's just go and heal, ally protect, get set up here. I don't know. I want the turn meter. I still feel like Nice is probably the target, but everybody's going to resist, unfortunately. And they have block debuffs anyway, so it's not like I can go in with the block active skill or something like that. Let's just see what we can do against Marichka. Not awful, I guess. Let's go in there and try to steal a little bit of turn meter from her. We can kill her. That's even better. All right, let's go in with the A2 of Arbiter. Yikes. Nice, like, I actually, like, braced for freaking impact. Did you see my reaction? Yikes. Dude, that's how conditioned I am that Nice is going to ruin my day in the arena. All right, let's go against Marius. Boom. Oh, that was a huge nuke. Okay, great. Nice. Should we go after? Yeah, I mean, there it is. Petrification. Beautiful. We live another day. All right. Marius, you're scaring me too. That's another brace for impact moment. All right, we can't take that team down. Victor Tess, you win today, my friend. Here we go. We've got Leo, Donnie, Armons, and Sify. Let's see what we can do here. So, back to the tier ranking, right? It's tough, right? Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. My gut says A-, you know, for this champion overall in terms of like the power scale of this champion. But I'm just kicking myself a little bit because it is a real factor, a real consideration that he's not awakened and his base attack sucks. So that means his A2 is going to hit a lot harder too. We haven't even seen him show off the revive. So, you know, it's interesting. I'm going to go against, we're going to swap defenses with Leo. We should be able to easily kill him. All right. Hey, we got the full turn meter. Now we're going to go in with some freeze. Good damage. Everybody was frozen. Everything's under control right now. Okay. Let's get Siffy dead. Beautiful. Let's get that turn meter boost. Fantastic. We withstood Leo. We're good. Lockout. And then highest turn meter. Armons. Boom. Deado. Fantastic. Get the heal. Get the AoE there on Arbiter. And now we're going to AoE. Boom. There it is. 45, 60k damage. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad there. Let's try one more team. What do you guys say? Let's go against, I want something like a little bit different. I don't know. Let's just see. Let's get a refresh here. Ooh, look at this. Hell Hades. We've got Cold Brew. We've got Cruisin'. Should we do it? Should we go against Cruisin'? I kind of want to go against good old HH. But Cruisin', let's go against Cruisin'. Let's go against Cruisin', damn it. All right. The good news is we're going against Naime, and he is going to be a great little counter against Naime. The bad news is he went first, and he locked my team out. Why is he a great counter to Naime? Well, obviously, he ignores block damage on that A2. The move is, though, is Nice is going to destroy us. Maybe I should have packed my team with a bunch of mythicals and we'd have a better fighting chance here against some of these squads. But hey, at the very end of the day, at least you can see the showcase, regardless of if we win or we lose on this champion specifically. So the nice thing is we can go in, we have block damage, we can withstand the counterattack from Nice. We can hopefully place a block active skills on a few of these champions, or at least one. All right, this is why it is that decision on where do you want to go with the banner on this champion, especially without empowerment, right? Do you want to go a little higher on the accuracy, knowing that we're not going to always have one of the CC debuffs on the enemy team? I'm not going to lie, a lot of his kit is predicated on getting the most value. Look at the stupid resist there. Okay, it worked out. On getting a lot of value from all those accuracy requiring moves that he has, right? So anyway, I feel like it's inevitable that we're going to be just smoked by Nice, and there's nothing we can really do about it. We're going to go in AoE block active skills. Hopefully the True Fear a proc, or we'll land a block active skills, which we do. We still gets the kill, but, you know, we can live another day. At least another half day here. Yeah, we're going to get smoked again. But again, damn it, we went against Cruisin'. We tried. We're so far away from the revive at this point that I feel like it's a fool's errand to continue this battle. I think we should go take on Hades. We should take on Hades. All right, let's try to end this one against Hell Hades. Get over here, Hades. You know what? Hades actually is going to be on the channel. Going to give us an update on how things are going with Godforge, hopefully next week. So you can stay tuned for that. It will be nice to get an update on where things are there. All right, he's got Warlord. He's got Siffy. We're going to go against... I mean, hell, I think we should just go against Siffy again because we're trading off defense with that A3. We're always going to get the kill, 200k damage, and then we're going to have that turn meter back. So I think that, you know, way more often than not, we're opening up with that A3 ability, especially since of Stone Skin and everything like that. All right, big kaboom comes down. We're totally fine. Everything's under control. I do want to go ahead and CC Warlord. Let's go in here. Irresistible freeze with the A2. Fantastic. Let's get rid of their reviver, even though he's not in his form. And then we're going to boost. And then we're going to end this bad boy. What do you guys think? Are you impressed with his damage? I think he's a pretty cool freaking champion. I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely going for this dude. I suspect I'll use this guy, especially if I do get him empowered. And I think that most players, 300-something thousand damage there, really nice. I think most players can absolutely use this champion. And hey, if you don't go for him too, it's a video game at the end of the day. But I think he's worth going for personally. Very unique damage dealer. We didn't even see him revive, like I told you guys at the start of the video. Damage on that A3, nasty. I love it. But the revive, it's not a classic reviver, and you should not look at him as a classic reviver. If you're hurting, though, he can definitely help you out in PvE content and Shadowkin. Guys, we're going to end it there. What do you think of him? Vote on my community tab poll right now, and watch my video about Grim Forest yesterday and the really urgent need that I think a lot of players are experiencing right now. You can see it right over there. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.